and we just wait.
Let me know when you're ready. I'm ready.
Okay, I'm not yet. Ain't nobody come on yet. So I'm gonna wait till they come on. Mm. I mean, you can talk though. Ain't nobody on here yet, babe. So I'm gonna just say, like I said, my tonight guest is B Moss, and she was kind enough to come on here and talk about her encounter. They coming. Hey Cheryl, how you doing? Hey Claire. Why are you so quiet?
I'm just trying to wait until more people enter the chat room.
They coming. You on there, ain't you? You crazy.
Yeah. You should have been up here earlier.
Mm-hmm. So wait, just wait. Who's that? Things are true. Hey, things are true. Why they call me by my nickname? Person must know me. Hey, just for fun.
Talk to some of the guests about what are their theories on Dogman. Or have
Baby.
Have they had any of their own opinions?
Baby, you know they can think. How everybody doing? Claire say, hey, Mr. Fun. I like that. Hey, Joy. How everybody doing? I realized that I didn't know. That was my bad. That was my bad. No, no, Cheryl. Herman didn't live. He died 7 years later. We got a new subscriber on here. Jonesy, hey. Where you from? First of all, how everybody doing? Pittsburgh in the house. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Okay. Ohio. Things are true. He from Ohio. Number Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. Joey said, hope everybody is doing well. Yeah, I'm sure everybody on here doing well. I know I am. You right, you are. You get to come on and tell people about your encounter in your own words.
You ready for me?
Okay, I'm gonna start, y'all. I got a guest tonight.
A few more minutes.
Okay.
If you want.
Yeah, we can. I'm gonna introduce my live guest tonight. in a few minutes. But while we waiting, just want to let y'all know I will be uploading new encounters on my YouTube channel this week. I know I ain't do it last week, but I'm gonna do it this week for y'all because I miss uploading. And you know, some people that we used to have on here not gonna be on here. I mean, due to personal reasons. Alabama hotspot. Things are true.
I guess I'm ready to record.
You ready? You ready?
Ready.
Okay, like I told y'all, I got a guest coming on, and you know what I'm saying, I'm thankful, you know what I mean, you know, she did tell me her encounter, but it's nothing like a person telling you about their own encounter. So I want to introduce tonight's guest, Miss B Moss. B, can you say hi to the listeners?
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Glad to see you in the chat.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? Talk up.
It sounds like a
Can you tell everybody about yourself?
Yes, I'm from Alabama, North Alabama to be exact, and I have had more than one Dogman encounter, but this is just I mean, I believe in a lot of different things, spiritual and supernatural, but I never thought that I would have an encounter with Dogman. I believed in it, and I knew they existed because I've seen and listened to several different interviews and podcasts for many years on different channels like Retelling, it comes in. I believe in Bigfoot and all those different types of cryptids. So I believe in all that when I had my encounter, but I just never thought I would actually have one of them.
Okay, B, I'm gonna need you. You know what I mean, it's a little audio difficulty, so I'm gonna need you to talk up a little bit when you telling your encounter. Well, I'm not gonna hold you up much longer, but can you tell me and everyone in the room about your encounter and where you had it at?
Yes, I had my encounter in North Alabama. Actually, we're 45 minutes away from where I had an encounter. I was driving to go visit my parents one weekend, and this happened around 2013 or 2014. And I knew it was in the month of November. Because I remember it was close to my birthday, and it was also getting close to Thanksgiving, and all I was thinking about was Thanksgiving. So I make it a habit. At that point in time, I was going to visit my parents alone on the weekend. To go visit them, sometimes I spend the night over there because at the time, my husband was going hunting a lot. It was hunting season, so a lot of weekends I just didn't want to stay at the house alone. I wasn't afraid, but I just go over there and visit them and just kind of socialize and spend time with my parents on the weekend. So this particular weekend, I pulled up at their house, and when I pulled up at their house, like I pulled up and parked alongside the curb, like right outside of their house. There's a big oak tree, like outside of the yard. And I parked underneath that tree. Now, the way that the neighborhood is set up, like when you pull up into the neighborhood, you can, there's different entrances in and out of the neighborhood. This particular end of the neighborhood, say there's on, they live at the end of a cul-de-sac. So as I park next to the curb, my car is already facing the woods because it's, that's just the way I'm parked as I come into the neighborhood and park. So my headlights are still on. I haven't gotten out of the car yet. So they're still on bright. I haven't got out of the car. I haven't turned the car off. And it's about 8 o'clock at night. So it's already dark. But I'm really like, before I ever get out, I'm feeling the ground and trying to gather my purse and everything else that I've got in the car with me. Just stumbling, and I don't know exactly what I was doing, but I hadn't got out of the car yet. But the way that I'm parked, I'm looking straight ahead, like into the woods, which that's the way that my car is parked. So it's facing that, so I'm looking into the entrance that leads into the woods. There's a trail that starts right there. There's a huge tree and bush right there at the beginning of that trail. So I'm sitting in the car, and like I said, the headlights are still on, so I'm looking straight ahead. And I seen something really dark, black, and tall, like standing in front of this huge tree. So I just sat there in the car looking straight ahead, and I told myself, I know that's not what I think it is. So, as I said, I know that's not what I think it is. Like, I thought my mom was playing tricks on me, so I put my headlights on bright. To the high beams on. So when I turned the high beams on, I could not believe my eyes. And like I said, I already believed that Dogman was existed. I already believed that because I had already heard stories for years, not just something me, but not all the people that were telling me these encounters were lying about something like that. So anyway, when I put the high beams on, my worst fears were confirmed when I seen it was standing right there, like right before my eyes. It was a jet black Dogman standing there on 2 feet. It was very muscular. It had broad shoulders. It stood on 2 legs, like I said. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. If I had to keep my height on it, I'm going to say it was anywhere between 8 and 9 feet tall. When I put the high beams on it, the Dogman creature, well, prior to putting the high beams on it, it was facing away from me. It was like facing towards the entrance, the trail into the woods. So, but when I put the high beams on, the Dogman turned and looked back over his shoulder. And I can't remember now if it actually turned his whole body around or if it just turned and looked over his shoulder, but I know something had to get someone say it turned around. And it looked directly into my car, like right into my eye. And it just stared at me. And I'm going to say that we probably kept eye contact no more than 8 to 10 seconds. But that 8 to 10 seconds seemed like an eternity. I could not believe what I was looking at. And tears just started rolling down my eyes because I was in awe. Like I said, even though I believe these creatures existed, I could not believe that I was actually seeing it for myself. I just couldn't believe it. And in my mind, the first thing, there's several things that kept running through my mind. I kept thinking to myself, you know, like you have those car doors where, like, now most of the cars are automatic locks. But sometimes they can have a short in the locker, and sometimes somebody can walk up to your car door and open it because it's stored and the door doesn't always lock. Or sometimes when you stand up or drive off, the doors are automatically locked. but I had a story in there. But sometimes, my sister, family member, anybody might just walk up. They could just like straight open the door without any problem, just open it up. And I kept thinking to myself, please God, don't let that thing come over here and try to open the door. I was terrified. So I was worried about whether it was going to come to me or not. But the dog man, after a few seconds of looking at it, it just turned its back and casually walked right into the woods, like where on its natural, I guess normal course where it was already going before I pulled up and started in my headline. So I think that when I drove up and parked next to the curb, it was already dark, like I said. But I think I caught it off guard. It just especially when I was to pull down that road because there's only a few houses on that corner where my parents live. So it looked dark and the street doors don't, and I guess it didn't expect to be lit up to that. But I told one time there before on other channels. I know I said it on Sherry Stories channel, with Becky narrating stories, not stories on Sherry Thompson. And one of the things that I didn't bring up when I shared my story there before was, as that black dog man walked off into down the trail, headed into the woods, it seemed like I saw 2 or 3 other ones, but I can't be sure. But they were further ahead, and my headlights weren't going quite as far as it was towards the one that was closest towards me, the black one. But the other one that was further down the trail, it was charcoal gray, dark gray, grayish down in color. There was like 2 or 3 of them, and they were all walking. But the dog man, the black one that I seen up close, is back and walked away from me casually after standing me for those 18 seconds as if it was no big deal. Like, oh well, it didn't run, it didn't go back down on the floor. It never goes on the floor. But I was just so shocked that I actually seen this thing. Now, one thing that a lot of people talk about during their interviews is that they see for these cases is either amber color, and I've heard it say it a few times. But the color of the ones that I saw was it was a really brilliant blue color, like not, kind of almost like a turquoise, and maybe it was a really beautiful color too. But it was really magic, like shining from within. And are y'all having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, they is. Because they texting it. I can see it. But yeah, they said it sound a little muffled.
How about now?
Ask them again.
It's muffled.
Ask them.
Is it muffled now? Y'all hearing me better?
Can y'all hear now? Say something. You gotta talk so they can hear you. She said it sounds better.
Okay.
Matt said it sounds better.
I got my mouth close to the speaker now.
All right. Why you ain't just you using your headset? Huh?
No, I took that out.
B, why you don't just have a speaker
No,
on?
I don't have
Why you don't just take your phone and turn the speaker on it and talk like that?
It's on speaker.
Huh?
Hold on, let me fix it. Hold on.
Wait a minute, she gonna try to fix it. I know she was muffled a little bit, but
Is this any better?
Say something again.
Okay. This is better now?
Yeah, it sound better. Turn the volume down.
Okay, great. I think that it was interference because I was on speakerphone.
No,
I took it off speaker.
That's how I wanted you, just like you is now. I should have told you when you first started.
Well, ask the guests, do they want me to go back over that? Because I don't know what part they heard and what they didn't hear.
Can y'all tell her which part y'all couldn't hear, where it was muffled at?
Or do they want me to start over?
Start it over.
Or they want me to start over?
No, I want you to start over.
Okay.
She's going to tell it over because it was all muffled. Go ahead.
All right. I was saying that the encounter that I had took place around 2013 or 2014 in North Alabama. And I was going to visit my parents on the weekend, like I would almost every weekend around November, anywhere from October to November, because it was hunting season. And my husband at the time would be gone a lot on those weekends. So I lived about 45 minutes away from my parents' house. And so on the weekends, I'd go over there to visit them. Sometimes I'd spend the night over there. Now, this was, I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I finally made it to my destination from where I live and to their house. Now, when I got to their house, I pulled up next to the tree. There's a big tree that's, that sits on the road, like close to the road, like on the curb, like I always park underneath that tree. And my car faces the woods the way it's parked as I pull into the neighborhood. Now, I know that this is around the month of October, November. Like I said, I know November for sure because my birthday was coming up and it was close to Thanksgiving. This is around 8 o'clock at night. I already believed that Dogman, Bigfoot, and other cryptid creatures existed because I've heard encounters and stories about them for several years from Brenton Sawin's channel, Big channel, and several other cryptid channels that I'm subscribed to and that I've listened to over the years. So I was already aware that Dogman and Bigfoot and all those type of creatures existed. So I just never thought that I would have my own encounter. So the night that I had my first Dogman encounter, I pulled up next to the curb and I did not get out of the car yet like I usually do. And sometimes I'll get out of the car right away. It just depends on what's going on. But not always, because at times, like if I was spending the night over there, I would have my suitcase in the car, makeup bag, and everything else taking forever to get out of the car. And I'm glad that I didn't do that this night, because this particular night, if I got out right away and if I, pulled up to the curb and parked and not looked around at my surroundings or looked at what was right ahead in front of me, then I would not have seen the Dogman that was standing straight ahead. Now, when I pulled up next to that curb, I had not cut the car off yet. The headlights were still on. And they were shining right into the woods. There's a wood line. There's the woods, and the wood line and all that kind of stuff is directly behind my parents' house. There's a trail that leads into those woods. And I'm familiar with those woods because I've lived, my parents lived at that house for over 30 years, and that's where I grew up, so I know all the surroundings. So when I pulled up, I'm still looking straight ahead. I hadn't gotten out of the car yet, and when I looked through my windshield and I was looking facing the woods, I seen something standing there, tall, jet black, and it was moving around. It was kind of standing in place, but I could tell that it was like getting ready to walk into the woods. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I know that's not what I think it is. So I thought my mom was playing tricks on me, and instead of just letting it be, I put my high beams on it. And when I put my high beams on the creature, it confirmed my worst nightmares. It confirmed my worst fears. I couldn't believe what was standing before me. I was looking at a muscle-bound, jet black Dogman standing on 2 feet. If I had to give an estimate or a guesstimate of how tall this thing was, I would say it was at least 8 or 9 feet tall. I'm not good with heights and stuff like that, but I know it was way taller. It was bigger than any basketball player that I've ever seen. It was more muscular than Shaquille O'Neal. This thing was humongous. And I already knew what it was, like I said, because I've heard of Dogman encounters for years and listened to people tell about their sightings. I heard several interviews, but I couldn't believe that I was actually looking at one for myself in the flesh. Now, if I had to tell y'all how close up to this Dogman that I was, if I were to have gotten out of my car to walk over to where it was, I would have been over to it, like face to face with it, in probably, I'll say, 70 to 80 steps, being close to the wood line, like standing in that trailway, like if I got out and walked over to it. And basically, when I put the high beams on it, it turned around and looked directly through the windshield right at me in the car, and it made eye contact with me for anywhere between 8 to 10 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. It felt like it was forever because I was just sitting there gripped in fear, I was so in awe at what was standing before me that I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't move. I was terrified, and I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. The eyes on the Dogman that I was looking at were a really brilliant blue. I can't even explain the color blue. It was just a really beautiful blue, but it was luminescent. They shined from within. There was stuff illuminating eyes. It wasn't because of the headlights hitting it. It was like they had a nightlight inside of this Dogman's eyes. It looked at me for 8 to 10 seconds, but as it was looking at me, all I kept thinking was, I hope that it doesn't come over here and try to open this door. Because I have power locks on the doors, but there's like a short in the door. So sometimes, like when I drive off or bag up, or sometimes when I lock the door to the car, it doesn't always lock. Because there's been times where people have come up and opened the door when it was supposed to be locked. And I kept thinking, please, God, don't let that Dogman walk over here and try to open this door. Because as close as it was, I felt like even if I was to put the car in reverse and try to bag away to get away from it, I know that I've heard on several different shows how fast these things are. And as afraid as I was at that time, I feel like I probably would have, I probably would have bagged into that tree trying to get away from it, back up over the curb, ain't no telling. I was terrified. So, anyway, after, I don't know, probably it looked at me for 8 to 10 seconds, but then after that, it casually turned its back and walked away from me and walked off down the trailway into the woods. And I was saying before, when y'all couldn't hear me, I was saying that as it walked into the woods, as it walked down that trail, as it began to walk down that trail, it seemed like I could see a few other gray ones off in the distance. But I didn't mention that before I went on Mysterious Huntsman's show. And when I went on his show, I did not mention that to him. Because I guess, it was one of those things where I was like, did you see that? Or did you think you see it? But they were charcoal gray or brownish in color. They were further up the trail. But I just kept sitting there for a few minutes after the black one got further off in the distance where I could no longer see it. I just kept sitting there in my car and trying to decide, should I drive off? Should I get out? But I had my phone in the car with me, so I just picked up my phone and I called inside of the house, and I asked my nephew to come out. I waited because I wasn't going to have anybody to come outside to walk me in right away. I wanted to give those things time to get further off in the distance before I called out for anybody to come out to help me. But it walked me in. I was so frantic and crying. Tears were just streaming down my eyes because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. But after a few minutes had passed, I called inside the house, and my nephew came out, and he walked me in, and, that he was just asking, what's wrong? And I've been telling my nephew about the creatures for years because, I like to listen to Dogman encounter stories. I was a subscriber to those channels, and so I would tell them about them. I had them listening to them, and, just feel like I said, never thinking that we'd see one. But he believed me. Both nephews believed me. They sat down. We went to the back of the house. We were sitting on the bed and just talking about it. And basically, that was the end of that encounter. Now, after that night, I started taking pictures on a regular basis. Like whenever I would be outside, if I went outside to smoke a cigarette or sitting in the car smoking or just anytime, like I would be out there taking pictures. I wouldn't always see stuff like right directly at that time. I might see it after the fact when I've gone back to look at pictures or videos. But sometimes I would see them directly straight on and decide to take pictures. So I have several pictures in my phone and on my iPad that I have of these Dogman creatures. I shared a lot of the pictures on the True Encounters Doug Pack page on Marvin's Facebook page. I've shared a lot of the pictures there. And there's many more to be shared as well. There's one particular called the Holy Grail Dogman photo, and that one is on the Doug Pack page as well. I shared that one. I shared it on there last night. I shared the full shot of that particular Dogman photo that I'm telling y'all about now. I shared that on the Doug Pack page. I shared it in black and white also, so y'all could also get more details on it, and they're close up. And I also shared the full shot of two Dogman in that picture, but I wanted y'all to get a layout of the yard so that you could see. Actually, these pictures were taken a couple of years ago, but I'm just explaining to you in case you guys go to the Doug Pack page and actually look at them. I shared some of the Dogman pictures on that page. But the Holy Grail Dogman picture, that one is one that Mysterious Huntsman, he actually shared that one with Linda Godfrey, and she said that that was one of the best Dogman pictures that she'd seen to this day. Now, I can't remember on that picture. I think I did on the full picture that I sent in on that page. On the full shot, so y'all can see the whole backyard. You can see that jet black Dogman on that picture. It's higher up in the tree. You can just see its head. You can just see its head. You can see its eye, one of its eyes. The other one's covered up with leaves. You can see its snout. You can see its nose, and you can see its white teeth. It was snarling at me. And that particular picture was taken when I was standing in the backyard of my parents' house. And I was actually out there on that particular day playing with my dog. I have a little Yorkie, and I was playing with her in the backyard. And I looked over into the trees, and I knew I seen something jet black there. And it was way darker than the shadows. It was darker than the tree. No shadow would have been that dark, and I knew something was off. So I said, let me take a picture right there. But not only did I capture that one, also on the full shot picture that I sent in, close up in the full shot, you'll also see that there's a charcoal gray Dogman. I think it's a female. I didn't see any breasts or anything, but I think it's a female because I only sent in one of the full shot. But on one of the full shot pictures that I actually have, there's she's feeding a baby. Like it has like some kind of little small animal. I'm going to guess it was a squirrel or something that it had in its mouth. But anyway, so that's why I think that's a charcoal gray one that's beneath the large black Dogman head. I believe the charcoal gray one, and it's standing up on 2 feet. It has a light gray snout, in case y'all go on the page and looking for it. It's turned to the side and looking kind of like into the trees, but it's standing up on 2 feet. You'll see it from the top of its head all the way down to its waist, and then there's like green tree leaves and branches going across its waist, and below that you'll see the upper thigh area down to its hocks. You can actually see the hocks feet. So it's standing up in the tree. So there's 2 Dogman for sure on that picture, and this is what I call the Holy Grail Dogman photo. So go to the True Encounters Doug Pack page with Marvin Allen. Y'all go on that page and you'll see the pictures, plus other ones that I'll be also adding to that page. Go and check it out for yourselves.
And thank you. Wait a minute, hold up, B. You know what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Well, I'm going to let you go ahead, and then I'll go into how I got into taking those pictures and how I got into taking the pictures and like what transpired after I had my encounter. And like I said, I don't remember if it was 2013 or 2014. But I'll go into, after you ask some questions, I'll go into what happened after that.
Right. The only thing I wanted to say is they wanted to know where they could find the pictures at, and you can go to True Encounters with Marvin Allen and the Doug Pack page, which you do have some pictures on there now. But like she said, she will be putting some more up.
I'll be adding more to the page. Yeah.
So y'all can I've
got several more.
Y'all can go there and check it out. But she can tell y'all.
Also, if they want to see the listen to Mysterious Huntsman episode 37, that's where I also shared my encounter, and those pictures are also on that YouTube video, Mysterious Huntsman episode 37.
And she also had pictures of some nests that she ain't put on the page yet, but she will be putting them up there.
I think did I not put a picture of the nest on the page? I thought I put a picture. Yeah, I think I did put a picture of the nest on the page.
Well, it might be up there. I ain't see it though.
I had to scroll back through. I can't remember because I know it was a bunch of them I was going to share. And I was talking to one of your subscribers last night in the comment section.
It's on Facebook.
I'm sorry?
No, it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's a Facebook page. Life 1042.
One of the members, yeah.
Thanks, Matt. All right, go ahead and tell everybody what made you get into taking pictures and stuff like that, B.
Well, after I had my sighting, I decided I just put, I thought about a bunch of the people over the years who've had sightings and encounters. I thought about all the hunters and stuff that have gone into the woods. I thought about all the questions that people have asked. Things like, well, where are they when you don't see them? Or I've been in the woods hunting all my life. I've been hunting for years and I've never seen them. And it makes you wonder, where are they when you don't see them? And then I thought of some of the encounter stories where I've heard people say, like the Beast of LBL, for instance, when you had, there was a land between the lakes where you had the situation where the little girl's body was found up in the tree, or other encounter and sighting stories where I've heard people talk about actually seeing them staring at them from the trees, or hearing something like jump down out of a tree or jumping from tree to tree. So it just made me think about it and realize that a lot of the times the reason why people are probably not seeing these creatures is because a lot of times they're hiding in the trees. They're blending in with the tree leaves or the bark or the trunk of the tree. A lot of the times their camouflage is so well that they blend in so well you won't see them unless they want you to see them. Because there's been plenty of times that I didn't see them until I went back and looked at the pictures or videos that I took later on. Mm-hmm. So I know that there's some of them I believe are flesh and blood, but I also believe that there's some that are supernatural, spiritual in nature, because I've seen some of them cloak. I've got pictures of some of them. Actually, I don't know if I've...
You haven't. You ain't put it on there.
One in particular that I haven't sent in yet. Hold on just a second.
She do have one that's, actually cloaking in a tree. So she will be uploading that one too to the page, so y'all can go on there and check it out. And feel free to post any pics on the page that y'all want. Y'all part of the pack now, so we're gonna make this page grow.
Okay, are y'all still there?
Yeah.
Am I still on? I didn't know if
you still on.
I thought I messed up my phone. Okay, so what? I can't remember. Where did I leave off?
No, you was talking about the cloak one.
Yeah, some of the cloaked ones. I don't think it's on the Holy Grail picture, but there's one that I'm gonna upload to the Doug Pack page tonight. And on that page, when I send that one in, I'm gonna send the close up, and I'll also send the further out shot too, but there's ones that are cloaked. Now, when they cloak, the times that I've seen them cloaked, they'll have this like grayish film or mist covering over their face. There'll be a gray film or mist covering over their face, but you can still see the details. Like you can still see their snout or their eyes behind that mist. You can tell that they've tried to cloak themselves. I've also seen on at least 3 different occasions, I've seen them morph. I've seen them kind of manifest, or I don't even know how to articulate that any better, but I've seen them morph into vision. I guess that's the best way to see it. And I'm kind of disappointed because, like I shared before on Mysterious Huntsman, when I did my sighting there, I accidentally deleted one of the most, I guess, prolific videos that I've ever seen out of anybody, like where it actually showed one morphing into existence. I was so upset. I was going through my phone trying to delete pictures, old pictures and stuff that I had in the phone, and accidentally deleted a 13-minute Dogman video. But anyway, I got into taking pictures after I had my encounter because I figured that they were probably in the trees. It just made sense. Because a lot of times hunters are looking on the ground, they're looking for deer or wild hog or boar or whatever they're looking for on the ground. They're not looking into the trees. So I just figured they were in the trees. And that what better way to hide? What better way to cover themselves? So I started taking pictures after that. And a lot of people, if you would take pictures, you take pictures of your surroundings, any areas that is heavily covered, wooded areas, where there's not a lot of people going back there. Those are areas a lot of time. If y'all just take random pictures, and then sometimes you take pictures and people think it's just pareidolia, and it is pareidolia. But in this instance, I already know, like in the case of taking those pictures behind my parents' house before they moved out of it, I lived there for about 30 years, 25 years anyway,
hey,
before I moved out.
B.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let me say something. No, because somebody said that they couldn't find a page. You gotta go to a Life 1042. You gotta go to True Encounters with Marvin Allen and the Doug Pack. Cause he said he couldn't find a page. He said he found Facebook page, but can't find the Doug Pack page. It's just one page.
Tell them to type in. Just tell them to type in.
I told him True Encounters with Marvin Allen and the Doug Pack. It's just one page. It's not 2 separate ones.
And then just tell them to join the page.
And just join. Wait a minute. Cheryl said something. Cheryl said, what is the Doug Pack? It's just, I mean, you said it. Doug Pack. It's like a name we came up with. You know, it was a young lady who started the page, and you know, she came up with the name, but she ain't no longer with us. So, and we just kept the name, and you know, we like it. You know, because we're a family now. You can go ahead and finish, B.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying that hold on, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Let me take this off speaker so I can, hold on.
Long as they can still hear you.
Okay, so I just started taking pictures. Now, I'll move on from that, but I was just letting viewers know, like, they're in the trees, and especially, like, if you live in a rural area or wooded area, I mean, they're always around, and maybe that's not always the case. I've heard people say before that they move from one area to the next, but I do know that my nephew had his own encounter at that same house a few years later. He had his own encounter a few years later. He was getting off from work one night, and this was another one of those weekends when I was at my parents' house. It was hunting season again, and my ex-husband at the time, he just so happened to be at the house that weekend instead of where we live. He happened to be at their house too that night because he was going to be hunting in the area where my parents lived at, or not far from there. So he stayed at the house that night. My husband, at the time, he he was there at the house. My nephew had just got off from work, and it was about 12 o'clock midnight. He just got off working at McDonald's. So when he got to the house, you know how teenagers are. They'll get out, and they're not really, they get out, and they're messing with their phone, texting. Hello?
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm still on. They're messing with their phone, texting. His phone was still lit up in the car. I guess he was just like kind of oblivious to his surroundings, not paying attention to what was in front of him. And he wasn't parked under that tree where I was parked under, because I was there that night. So I was parked under the tree. So he ended up having to park like much closer to the wood line, much closer to that trail. Like basically, like if he got out of his car, he would have only been like 20 steps. Like maybe even less than that, like to what he's seen that night. So I'd already gone to bed early this night, and I'd gone to bed early that night, and my nephew started blowing up the phone. He spent he was really close with my parents too, like that was his grandparents. He was really close, so he would come over there and spend the night, because he would want to spend weekends with me whenever I would come down. So he called my phone and was like, "Tina, come out here quick." And I'm like, "What is it?" And I said, "What is it? What's wrong?" He said, he said, "Come out here quick." He said, "What are these Dogman out here?" I said, "No, it's not." I said, "Are you serious?" Like, I already knew my encounter, but I thought that he was just trying to pick at me because I'd had a counter. I didn't think, that, I mean, that had been, at this point, it had been probably 2 or 3 years after I had my encounter when he had his. So I said, "No, it's not." He said, "I'm serious. I'm so scared right now." I said, "What's wrong?" I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes." I said, "What is it doing?" He said, "It's looking right at me." And I said, "Well, are you sure?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay." I said, after I said, "What is it doing?" He told me it was on all fours. It was on 4 legs. He said, and so he thought, he already knew about them, like I told y'all before, because I've been telling him about these creatures for years. So when he seen it on all fours, he put his high beams on it, and then he said that when he put his high beams on it, he said it stood up on 2 legs. It stood up on 2 feet. And that's what he called. And I said, "Well, what did it do?" I didn't ask him all these questions until after the fact, but I'm just kind of getting ahead of myself. But I was afraid, because I know what I had seen back in 2013, 2014 when I had my encounter. I was too afraid to go outside, so I sent my husband outside to go out and get him, because I wasn't fit to go out there, because I would have had to go much further close to the woods than I was even parked. I sent him to go outside. Now, if he hadn't been there that night, then I guess I would have had to wake up my dad and go get him to go out there and get him, or I just would have had to suck it up and go out there. I just wasn't going to let him come in the house by himself. Because the night that, even in my encounter, I was too afraid to get out. I mean, I had a key to their house, but I wasn't just going to take a chance. They had the screen door locked. And then there I am, stuck outside, and that thing's like just a few feet away. But my husband went out there to go get him and bring him back into the house. And when he got inside, he was still shook up. He was sitting on the couch. His eyes were like wide open, like he was breathing hard. And I just talked to him, and he told me the whole thing from start to finish. He said he was just sitting there in his car, texting on his phone, talking to his girlfriend on the phone, and his phone was lit up. He wasn't paying attention to everything around him. And when he looked up, there it was, standing there, and it was looking at him. I asked him what it would look like. He said it was tall, it was jet black. He said it had a long snout, and he said it had pointy ears on top of its head. So, that's my encounter and my nephew's encounter, and like I said, there's other pictures that I have as well, and I've got more stories, and I think I probably, since it's been kind of long already, with me telling this, I'm going to save the rest of it probably for another episode, because there's way more sightings of these creatures. There's way more sightings of them, but that's all I wanted to share for tonight. I'm going to save some of them for later, but y'all definitely make sure you go and check out Two Encounters Dog Pack with Marvin Allen's Facebook page. And there'll be pictures. There's pictures on there, like I said, that I shared on that page yesterday, and there's more pictures that I'm going to share. I'm going to probably upload on there tonight, and I will be doing some artwork as well for the page. I've actually finished one. I've already completed one Dogman picture that I've drawn, but I've got to twerk and finish a little, things that need to be done to that, and I've got a few more that I need to work on as well for the page. But did you have any questions, Byron?
Yeah, but let me go to Life 1042. He asked me he said why I don't post the links on that. I wasn't posting the links because I had somebody else doing the page for me who left.
Post the links on what?
As far as the videos and stuff like that, and I had somebody doing that, the one who started the page. And he said he called
post
me.
Post the links to your videos.
Yeah, stuff like that. He said he called me. He said I'm an atheist. I mean, not a bad thing, but in a joking way. But I got you. Life 1042. I'll make sure I start putting up the links because I'm new to this. Even the laptop, phones, and stuff like this. I'm new to this, so I'm still learning.
You said they want you to
post links.
They want you to put up the links to.
He said, Marvin, you're being an atheist and not posting links in any of your videos is driving me nuts. I mean, I got you though. I got you. It's a learning curve. I make sure. I start doing it. Yeah, B. I mean, I appreciate you coming on and telling your account and stuff like that. But yeah, I just want to ask you just a few questions. I just want to know well, even when I had my encounter, as far as the nightmares and waking up in cold sweats, did you go through any of that?
You said, did I go through any of the nightmares?
Yeah.
I had a couple of nightmares a few times, but for the most part, no. I think I've had like 2 Dogman nightmares ever, and it didn't traumatize me like it did, like it has a lot of people whose encounters that I've heard. It didn't traumatize me like that. It did change my life though in a way to where I did become fearful to go outside after dark. Or if I would go to my parents' house when they lived at that house, it got to a point where I didn't want to go outside and smoke at night. After dark, like when it started to be about 6 or 7 o'clock, I'd be inside. Or if I was smoking, then I made sure that I parked under their carport and had the lights on or had the screen door open so that I could get out of the car and run back in. Or if I pulled up to their house to go visit or anything like that, I would call them in advance and tell them, hey, I'm pulling up, have the door open. Like, I wouldn't have them have the door open, like, long before I got there because, God forbid, one of those things got in the house. But, like, if I'm pulling right up, I call and say, hey, I'm outside. Can y'all unlock the door? It changed the way that I would do things. And even to this day, like, even at my house now, I live across the street from the woods. And if I got to go out to the car at night to get anything out of the car, like, I look both ways, like, before I even leave out from around the house, because I'm thinking about the times when I've heard some encounters where people talked about the Dogman standing on top of the roof when they came out, and so or I'll just take off running full speed and run to the car real quick and go get what I need and then run back in. But it's just certain things that I refuse to do now.
Right,
but I haven't had any nightmares.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. Life 1042, Jennifer just posted the link up there for you. Hi, Jennifer. She just posted the link up there for you so you can get it and write it down so you'll have it. But it's up there now. And like I said, I will be uploading some new encounters on my YouTube channel this weekend. It's a lot of people on here. They talking about a lot of paranormal stuff too. Cause in a way, I think they
Yeah, I mean, when you get into dealing with Dogman, and you get to dealing with Dogman, you get to dealing with some of these other creatures. It opens up so many other avenues, I guess, as far as like creatures or sightings. Period.
Just look at the list. Let me know what that is. Just say your name.
Alright. So wait a minute. I'm trying to read something. So you think they go together?
What do you mean?
I mean, as far as like paranormal.
You're saying, do I think that what goes together? I'm confused.
I'm talking about the paranormal and Dogman. Do you think they go together?
I think that well, it's kind of hard to say. I've heard some stories where people have talked about UFOs and how they believe that Dogman came out of, they've seen them come out of UFOs, or they've seen light in the woods or whatever, light up and then followed by a Dogman sighting.
Where you at? Oh, that's Red. Oh, no, the new guy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I'm coming. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
Okay.
dog. Go ahead, B. I apologize.
Yeah, I was just saying that I do think that there's some paranormal aspects to them. And like I said, I think that it's just different times, different ones. I think some of them are purely flesh and blood, but I think that they've always been around for thousands of years, all the way back to Anubis, all the way back to ancient Greek mythology, and even the satyr in the Bible, biblical creatures like that we've been told was fairy tale creatures. I don't believe they are fairy tale. I believe that they've always existed, and I believe that our governments today have covered them up for whatever reason. They've covered them up, but they've covered them up, and I don't know what the reason is for that.
Hey, Life 1042, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to go there and accept you. I'm going to do it. So you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to accept you. Yeah, I mean, they cover up so much stuff, you know what I mean, as far as when it comes to these cryptids. And it's not just Doug, man. It's any cryptid that they don't want us to really know about. So that's definitely what I believe, you know. And somebody said something about it's a lot of Dogman and tail in Mississippi, which I do believe that. You know, I've been to Kentucky once, and supposed to be going down there again. So it might be in the fall. No problem, Life 1042. And thanks again, Jennifer, for posting the link. Anybody want to ask her any questions? I'm trying to see if they want to ask you any questions, B. $10.42 is funny. What to say? Oh, Bizaway? Yeah, I think I can do that for you. I'm gonna talk to her and see if she'll come on, which I know she will. But doing another live tomorrow because I got a lot of guests and a lot of eyewitnesses lined up, so I'm gonna just bring them straight on the live stream. So we're gonna be on here again tomorrow at 7 with another guest. Hey B, would you ever go out looking for these creatures? B. Wait a minute, y'all. Anybody on here believe in demons?
I'm sorry. Did you hear my answer? I'm sorry.
No, I ain't hear your answer because you went silent.
I'm sorry. I had asked my face to press the mute button. I was saying, no, I don't think I would feel comfortable going out looking for the creatures.
And somebody just text me and gonna ask me what's up with my live stream. Like it's a joke or like it's a game. Now see, they done messed my whole live stream up because it really got me irritated now. And I ain't trying to take it out on y'all. It's just a certain person. Come on, don't do that.
Well, I mean, you have to just block people sometimes, but you know you're not gonna be able to make everybody happy. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable going off into the woods. I'd only go in a large numbers, and I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable going out.
You know what, Mark? I like that. He said in a couple of years I'll be on the History Channel. And you might be right, because can't nobody do it like me. No, I'm not. I'm not filming from a prison. Hold on, y'all.
Hello.
Why you hang up the phone?
I'm still on.
You come on.
No, you ain't gotta get back on. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. Just hold on. Don't just don't. Like I said, I'm gonna do another live stream tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this. It's gonna be tomorrow at 7:00. I got a new eyewitness coming on here, and they're gonna tell their accountant. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. But I'm gonna go ahead and upload this right here for tomorrow, and I'm coming back on at 7:00. Like I said, I got somebody text me on my phone, you know what I mean, asking me a question which they already knew the answer to, and it got me a little upset. And before I take it out on y'all, I just go ahead and I'ma end the live, and go sit down, and I'm gonna get myself together. I love y'all. I miss y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for coming.